Opinions discussed on Canadian Love by our guests are not representative of the crew or host. Facts may be referenced that we cannot back up, so please don't listen to everything you hear on the internet. Resources mentioned in the video will be listed in the description below. Please do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Thank you.
Hashtag Toronto Pride. Time to go to a premiere and interview people there. Today on Canadian Love, we are attending the theatrical premiere of Jesus Meets the Gay Man, a fantastic and extremely current film project by J.C. Moses and DDP Studios about reconciliation and forgiveness between the church as an entity and the LGBTQ+ community. So we're really excited to be part of this event, and we've also been sponsored by DDP Studios to go in there and to ask people what they believe Jesus would say to a gay man. So this is very exciting for us. Let's go have a look. So I have the honor of sitting here right now with JC, who is the writer, director, and creator of the project we're premiering today, Jesus Meets the Gay Man, who is currently dressed like hippie Elvis Jesus.
Hippie Elvis Jesus.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about what sparked this. What made this project? What was its inception in your head?
Well, the inception was like in 1999. I wrote like Jesus Meets the Gay Man. I wrote like a script treatment about asking what would Jesus say to a gay person, because then everybody's got a different archetype of what Jesus is and a different archetype of what a gay person is. So I thought the question, I would get a relative answer of who Jesus truly is and what a gay person truly is. And then I tied my personal life into it, because I went through the pray way, like pray the gay way or pray the gay way, yeah. And I decided that the church always had best intentions, but I think they were always really fractured when it came to homosexuality. They really don't want to talk about it because their denomination says one thing, but deep down inside their own personal beliefs within the church, I think church members really don't care. And I think so I decided to do a documentary where we just scratched the surface of talking about the issue between Christianity and homosexuality. And because a lot of homosexual men and women, or the LGBTIQ2SAA community, has been kind of abused by some of the Christian churches. Yeah. But then some Christian churches are adopting a lot more now. I don't know if you've seen that. Like, they've got their rainbow stripes, and they got a lot of united churches. Like, they're very supportive of the gay community. So it's very cool. Like, things are changing, but I think there's a lot of healing that needs to happen. So I wrote the documentary to help heal that relationship, that fractured relationship. We're gonna have a break in between, and then that's when we're gonna insert some of the. So please enjoy.
The following documentary may contain mature subjects that are not suitable for younger children and humorless adults. Please note that some of the reenactments of biblical scenes are strictly an interpretation to entertain you. While you may discover.
It's been a big effort, a big group effort.
I bet. I mean, it's a massive project.
It was, and I'll tell you, when I got together with DDP Studios, when I first heard of Jesus Meets the Gay Man, I thought, I don't know what you guys are doing and where you're going with it. But then as it started developing, I realized what a great project it was, and what a message that we have to get out there. Somebody had to make this film and create this message that we can spread worldwide, because let's face it, religion has destroyed a lot of families. And I'm not just talking about the Catholic Church, I'm talking about all kinds of religions. So that was one of the reasons why we really wanted to get this film put together and get it out there.
For the things that we do, it's a harsh religion. It does not let its followers off the hook.
So, Tim, you co-produced and co-wrote Jesus Meets the Gay Man. What pulled you into that process?
Well, I've been a part of DDP Studios for 8 years, and this is one of the projects that we found to be the most gravitational, and we really worked as hard as we possibly could with the least amount of money possible. We had to ask ourselves the question whether or not Jesus ever met a gay person in the Bible. And being a biblical scholar myself, there really is not a time where he meets a gay person, except possibly the centurion. So if you know anything about biblical history or about the story of the New Testament, Jesus at one point does meet a Roman centurion who says that his master's servant or slave boy or pays boy is sick. And now Jesus being living in the time of the Romans, they were quite open about their sexuality. And Jesus must have also had known of homosexuals or homosexual activity during his time, but it wasn't really spoken about in the Bible other than the Old Testament with condemnation. So Jean-Claude and I wanted to pose the question to the regular people on the street. Even we did streeters, asked people, what would Jesus say to a gay man?
Number one, I am the Lord, your God. You shall not have any other God. Unless, of course, you happen to meet another God, and he or she is offering you a better or easier life than the one I am offering you, well then who might have stopped you? By all means, follow that God. After all, it's a big universe. But it wasn't any of us.
What brings you here to the screening of Jesus Meets the Gay Man?
Well, so actually my roommate Amanda knows JC. They worked together like years ago. So she saw that it was a thing and she suggested it because we came down from Sudbury for Toronto Pride and we're like, let's throw this in. But I mean, I've always enjoyed the intersection of religion and queer life, so it was, perfect.
But JC is a good friend, so that, and also the revelation, right? So just to see what happens actually, yeah.
Yeah. Where did you, I guess you heard about it through him and you were like, I want to see what happens in this.
Exactly, yeah. So it's an exciting topic, you want to see what exactly happens.
I've known Jean-Claude since I was 14, and Jean-Claude and I both attended church together. My father is a pastor, and so we know each other through the church, and he also lived in my home. And actually during that period of time when I was 14, I'm 45 now,
A day over 37.
I had no idea that he was gay. So he came out of the closet during our church experience together.
So, Q, what do you think so far? We're halfway through Jesus Meets the Gay Man. What are your thoughts at the halfway mark?
Well, as a straight man,
Yes.
I'm very, very comfortable. I feel very welcomed. I feel at home. It's nice to know that this is what's being thought about. It's nice to hear. It's nice to hear a sense of humor is being brought back.
I want to see more. I want to see more and more, and it's just an entertaining, completely honest, beautiful, open-minded, shooting into the stars idea and expression of one person and many, what's happening in the community of queer, I guess.
They went through all the regimes of people's closed-mindedness about gay people and things like that. I've always had an open mind. I've never been a religious person. I thought it was a great project.
They brought up so many subjects that I've been hearing myself and all my friends and family go through for so many years that it took one of my really good friends to be doing this kind of project for me to look at these subjects again, right? I mean, especially the whole small town thing, I thought that was pretty brilliant.
Yeah, the whole piece on Timmins, is that something that you've also experienced or your friends have?
Absolutely. I mean, I came from a community called Rishabuktu in New Brunswick, right? Population of 2,500. So that kind of like, unless you were a swimmer or a hockey player, you didn't fit in a whole lot of places, right?
Wow. That's funny because he alluded to literally that choice, swimming versus hockey.
Yep. I mean, only once you leave North America do you notice how many people love soccer or football, but in small communities, we're still not getting there.
What do you think so far of Jesus Meets the Gay Man?
I really like it. It's very, the satire is very, I like the humor. It's not so serious, so you can enjoy it and don't feel so nervous about the hot topic of gays, so.
That's a very interesting statement. So their humorous treatment of stuff just makes it much easier to approach the hot topic without discomfort.
Right, correct.
Remember this. You should always smile when you see children, just to remind you how beautiful you are.
We just finished watching this emotional movie with its beautiful forgiveness piece. What did you guys think of this?
A lot of messages, good messages out of this movie. You laugh, you cry. It was wonderful. I loved it.
That's amazing. It looks like you're almost ready to cry now,
I know.
Now I'm also almost ready to cry.
I think it's a beautiful film. I think it's a beautiful effort by some really cool people. I think it should inspire us all for what we can do as individuals. The film by its nature is an independent film. It took a lot of personal effort to make this happen, and they did it not expecting anything in return, not expecting to get famous. They did it for other people. And I think that, if you take nothing else, if you're not personally invested in this film just based on the content, that alone should inspire you to get out and do your own important work, no matter what you're working with.
Would you say that watching this has helped reaffirm your faith in Christianity?
Reaffirm, I don't know, but it's going to make me really look at it and not come back, but I did have a relationship, and I think I'm going to rekindle it again. Okay.
I think a movie that changes your heart is super fantastic.
Yes. I think that the greatest thing about this film, the documentary Jesus Meets the Gay Man, is that it's timeless. That I think from now and forever, people are going to be struggling with their sexuality, and there's going to be challenges with society. And I think that we really uncover a lot of those issues, and that we address them. So my goal and my role was to help push this film to get, to get people to be able to forgive themselves and to be confident about who you are.
Almost every holistic practitioner, witch, scientist, whatever, they all say the same thing: cut the cord. Cut the cord, energetically even, just cut it. If you have to forgive somebody to move on with your life, just do it. You feel so much better, and then you let go of your baggage and you start to raise up. And so the science has the words for it, but it makes you feel better, and it gives you a reason to just want to get up every day and help people.
And that's amazing. I think when we forgive, we're not just letting someone else off the hook. You forgive for yourself. You forgive to let yourself off the hook.
Yes, we don't think about that enough. We come up with words called selfish, right? Oh, don't be so selfish. Well, if you're not selfish, who's going to keep you alive? Who's going to nourish you, with friendship and service to others,
What do you believe Jesus would say to a gay man?
Oh, he would say, I love you. And as long as you feel love for your common neighbor and a friend, then you're free. You're free of any feel of guilt as what they've been put on so much, right?
Jesus and I aren't very close, but so I can't put words in his mouth, but I feel like Jesus wouldn't have anything special to say. It's just another person, love thy neighbor, that kind of stuff,
I don't think he would have anything against them. I like the most topic. He was a kind, welcoming person. He hung out with a lot of different people. So why he would have difference to people's sexuality makes no sense.
He'll say, yo man, do your thing. I think that's what he'll say. I don't think, there's anything to say. It's just life, yeah? So,
yo man, do your thing.
I don't know. I think he'd probably, I don't know. I don't even know what he would say, because I don't even know if it would matter anymore. And I think that everybody has misinterpreted what he possibly would have said. And I honestly believe that he would have been for the people, with the people, and helped the people.
I love you. That's, that was normal back then. He was just, Jesus had the foresight of being able to have t-shirts that could talk of the future and the past. So he knew what was going on. You can't be that conscious and not get the downloads, right? So we know that he was know what was going on. He knew everybody was, it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
I love you. And I'm sorry for what my followers have done to you.
So that was the premiere of Jesus Meets the Gay Man, and I have to say that I think that they did a great job of a really loving treatment of not only JC's story and the story of, you know, growing up gay in a small town in northern Ontario and his story and his Pray the Gay Away story and what he's been through in all their interviews, but of also a very loving treatment of Christianity and Christians as well. I think it was a really good fusing of the two, and I think people should see it. I also really enjoyed talking to the audience and just getting a feel that what really resonated was the message of loving people and being loving, and also that forgiveness is so important, not just to forgive other people for them, but when you're forgiving other people, you're letting go of whatever negativity from an experience you're carrying. So forgiveness is also what we need to do for ourselves. We need to forgive others in our lives in every way for ourselves so that we can be brighter and shine brighter and love more freely and just have better lives. So it's been a really fun, fulfilling experience, and we're honored to have been part of the premiere. Great times.